Good day everyone, we are the group 3 and we are going to talk about the hand signals used in volleyballs and its importance or purpose. So what are hand signals? The volleyball hand signals enables referees to maintain a smooth flow to the contest. This also allows spectators and participants to understand the action during the match and the outcome of each rally. So ang kaning hand signals, mo ni siya ang language sa mga referees, and referees use several hand signals during a volleyball game to indicate which team is at fault or which team has won the point. As a referee, your signals are your language, and if you have a great command of that language, then it will show your expertise, your knowledge of the sport, your understanding of the rules, your fairness, your confidence, your control of the match, and your professionalism.
Okay, so since we already know what are hand signals, let us now proceed to its importance. So nganong importante siya? So not just volleyball, but all sports in general. So volleyball signals are a way that officials communicate with players, coaches, scorers, and even fans of the sport. So the hand signals used in volleyball are universal, meaning everyone can understand them. So it can be understood by the players, the coaches, and anyone involved in the game, regardless of their race or their language. And each hand signals corresponds to a meaning. So as we go on to our discussion later on, ipaila-ila na sa akong mga groupmates. So unsa to nga mga hand signals ug unsa iyang corresponding meaning. Okay, so nga namang importante ang hand signals sa volleyball. So referee hand signals are critical in volleyball because they allow the officials to communicate with the players and even the coaches during the game. The importance of these signals includes, we have here first, clarity. Referee hand signals provide a clear and consistent way for the officials to communicate their decisions to the players, coaches, and spectators. The signals are universal, and everyone involved in the game can understand their meaning, regardless of their language or their culture. So, a signal or hand signals are a referee's way to communicate. Mo lang gamiton, bali mo siya language nilang gamiton during the game, for them to communicate clearly and efficiently. So, using clear and consistent hand signals ensures that everyone can understand the decision being made by the referee. So this is especially important because we all know that volleyball is a fast-paced sport, meaning pas-pas ang mga panghitabo during the game. Thus, the decisions must be made quickly as well, no? To keep the game moving smoothly and efficiently. So if the hand signals are not clear, there can be confusion among the players and the coaches, which can lead to arguments, no, disputes, and it can even disrupt the game. So, madelay na noon ang game. So, next, we have safety. So, referee hand signals can help prevent injuries on the court by signaling when a player has committed a dangerous play, such as a high hit or a back row attack. This ensures that players are held accountable for their actions and that the game is played safely. So, one of the main priority jud sa game is ang safety sa players, no? Mo jud na yung main priority. So, referee hand signals play an important role in promoting the safety of the players during the game, no? During any game, not in volleyball. So, a referee uses hand signals to call out dangerous plays, such as an illegal block or a spike. By making these calls, the referee is helping to prevent injuries and keeping players safe. If these types of plays were allowed to continue, this could result in injuries to the players in the opposing team. Maong dapat yun siya nga ma-stop if ang referee maka-notice na siya nga ang isa ka player kay nakakommit na og illegal attack. So, signal na siya nga stop or ihunong ang game para ma-call out to ang dangerous na play. So referees may use hand signals to stop play if they see an unsafe condition on the court. For example, if a player is injured, the referee can use a hand signal to stop play and ensure that the player receives the necessary medical attention.
Hello everyone, now let's proceed to another importance of hand signals. So hand signals gives efficiency. So when we talk about efficiency, it is the ability to make out of our resources and time without wasting it. So it says here that the use of hand signals can make the game more efficient, as officials can quickly and clearly communicate their decisions without disrupting the flow of the game. So the referee can easily and quickly give information of what is happening to while the game is going on and what is happening to the players. Okay, so official or ang referee, sila ang magtanaw or mag-guide sa mga players to know what mistakes they did while playing, what faults they did to other players. So hand signal is easiest way to inform players without distracting the flow of the game. Next one is fairness. So when we talk about fairness, it talks about equality. So in this game, players are equal. So they follow the rules equal. No one is exempted. Rules are rules and they must follow it. So it says here that the use of hand signals helps ensure that the game is played fairly and that all players and teams are held to the same standards. Referee signals indicate when a player has committed a fault, such as touching the net or crossing the center line, or when a point has been scored. So hand signals is used to give or to inform points of each team, and it also a guide the player or to the team about the fault they committed while playing. So hand signals has a specific we have specific hand signals, the equivalent to a rule or a sign of a rule, and that is how the referee and the player communicate. So hand signal is very important since it is the only way for the players and the coach and the referee communicate while or during the game without disrupting the flow of the game and without wasting the time and effort of these people.
Next is education. Referee hand signals can also help educate players, coaches, and spectators about the rules of the game. By using these hand signals consistently and explaining their meanings, officials can promote a deeper understanding of the game and its rules. So that would be the five importance of hand signals. First is the clarity, and then safety. Next is efficiency and fairness, and lastly is the education. And yeah, for the last part is referee signals should be crisp, meaning they should look professional, they should be clear to everyone, and leaving no questions as the call being made. Signals should be made in a way that everyone know that the referee had a clear view of that action, is confident in his call, and ready to proceed with the play. So, experienced referee know that a good signals are essential to good officiating. And that would be my report. Thank you and goodbye. that would be the five importance of hand signals. First is the clarity, and then safety. Next is efficiency and fairness, and lastly is the education. And yeah, for the last part is referee signals should be crisp, meaning they should look professional, they should be clear to everyone, and leaving no questions as the call being made. Signals should be made in a way that everyone know that the referee had a clear view of that action, is confident in his call, and ready to proceed with the play. So, experienced referee know that a good signals are essential to good officiating. And that would be my report. Thank you and goodbye.
Good day to everyone. So in this part, we will tackle about the different hand signals that are used in the official game of volleyball. For the first hand signal, we will have the illegal alignment or the improper server. So this hand signal will be indicated by the referee by straightening their arm at a 45-degree angle towards the floor of the side that is at fault, and after which we will have a small rotation indicating a rotational area has occurred. Ang kaning hand signal is matawag ni siya sa button siya sa referee if by the time nga ni serve ang server kay usa ka player sa ilang team kay wala sa iyang position, sa iyang proper nga position. Kay di ba magtuyok man gyud na sila ang every player kung makapuntos. Then ika-serve niya, serve sa server kay ang imbis ang katong setter nga dapat naa na sa luyo kay napa sa front, mo to matawagan na siya nga illegal alignment or ang usa pod ka case is kanang sayop ang ni serve nga dapat ang katong middle blocker ang ni serve na dapat pero ang setter ang ni serve. So dira siya matawagan nga improper server or illegal alignment. For the next hand signal is the line violation. The referee would point down at the offending line like this to indicate that a line violation has. So, sa pag-serve nimo sa bola, kay dapat dili gyud ka maka-step sa line or like kanang mulapas sa linya. Kay in case nga mabuhat na nimo, automatic ang referee mo tawag yun na o kanang line violation then wato nito niya nga hand signal which is pointing that. For the third hand signal, we have illegal hit. So the referee would place their forearm out in front of them, then with the palm facing upwards, then after which the referee would move his or her palm slowly upward. This would indicate that an illegal hit has occurred. Matawagan ang usa ka player og illegal hit kung kanang like ang pinaka-common nga reason kung matawagan og kanang illegal hit ang usa ka player is ang kanang yung lift, ang kanang dili proper nga pag-receive niya like ang ball kay wala jud niya gi bounce ra like ana like ang bola kay imbis nga mo touch siya briefly nga pagka-touch then masaka din sa babaw hindi na siya metaboy nga na din kanang ang metabo is kanang dugay jud nga kanang pagdikit sa bola siyang kamot mahug og lifting na siya or kanang carries ang tawag niya. For the fourth hand signal, we have the delay of service. The referee would simply raise their hand with a open flat hand to indicate that the delay of service has occurred. So, in serving, tagaan ra ka og kanang 8 seconds after sa pag-whistle sa referee, tagaan ra kag 8 seconds. Then, kung malapas ka kag 8 seconds, then wala pa nimo na na serve ang ball kay dira na mo whistle ang referee then tawagan ning ka og delay of service then mo na ana or like something like that. For the fifth hand signal, we have the over the net. The referee would indicate this hand signal by simply putting his hand over the net. So if this is the net, di na ko kulig ko. So if this is the net, walay solid. Okay. So if this is the net, the referee will just put his arm over on top of the net. So for example, like that. So matawagan ni siya og over the net nga violation in case ang like kani siya mo ni siya ang net then this is the ball so nadjitay props. So in case ang example na to is kanang ingani ang ball na nadiri nga side so makita ninyo nga ang nalapas ni siya sa net diri man ninyo nga side then sa kontra diri then diri siya nga side na then ang imong gibuhat is imo siyang gitry og imo siyang gitry og spike kaya imo kamot lapas na pa jud lapas siya sa net imo siyang gitry og spike or imo siyang gitry og kuha balik gikuot mo balik then imong gi set kana siya matawagan jud na siya og over the net nga violation then mo signal din ang referee. Pero kung ang kaninga bola same scenario gyapon kana ang bola na diri then lapas na siya sa net then ang imo rang gibuhat is ni block ra ka imo kamot nilapas sa net pero wala kay gibot you didn't play it ana so imo ra siyang gianang imo kamot di play sa imo kamot sa net then maura so kana siya good na siya counted na siya so di na siya matawagan og over the net. That's it. So that's all for my part and I shall give the screen to the next reporter. Thank you for listening.
Signal that we use in volleyball is what we call the net foul or net serve. So, if a net fault occurs, the referee would take their hand on the side in which the net fault occurred and place their hand gently on the net to indicate the fault. A net foul is when a player from a team hits the net with their hand or arm when blocking the ball or spiking the ball. So in this game, in volleyball, it is very important to not touch the net because once we touch the net, it means violation and the points will go to other team. Okay? Okay. So always in mind and always control yourself while playing, especially for those players nga dool sa net or katong blockers, spikers. Let's be very careful and control the adrenaline rush of running inside or gushing inside our body while touching the ball to strike or to block. So that is net foul or net serve.
Thank you, Ms. Lowela. Now let's proceed with the other hand signals used in volleyball. So number 7 is legal back row attack. So naanagro mo yung idea nga, if na ay legal, na ay illegal. So but let's talk first about the legal back row attack. So legal back row attack is indicated by placing their arm at shoulder height. So mura kag mo arms forward but usara ka arm. And waving it directly down, your palm is also facing down whilst keeping the arm straightened and then mura kag mo motion nga swipe like this one. So this motion or this hand signal is legal back row attack. So kanus amin siya gamiton sa usa ka referee. So let's have a recall sa usa ka court. Volleyball court, it is divided into 2 for the 2 teams. And every team na siya 6 players. 6 players. Na siya 6 players. And then, 3 players kay ma-place siya sa front row, which is the attack zone. And the other 3 players kay naa siya sa back row, which is the defense zone. So, if you're a back row player, or naa ka sa luyo, you are not allowed to attack the ball in front or in the 3 meter or 10 foot line. Sa kanang layan nga nagbuwag sa attack zone o sa defense zone. If imong i-attack ang ball or igon nimo ang ball nga babaw siya sa net nga height, dapat dili ka atubangan or sa mismong linya. Dapat naa ka sa luyo and dapat moambak ka. You have to jump and land behind the line. So that is legal. Meaning, okay pa siya, mo signal ra ang referee nga nahitabo ang legal back row attack and the play continues. Wala pa'y nakadaog ana. Walay mo gain of point because it is still legal. So, kano saan man siya mahimong illegal? So, mauna ni siya ron. Number 8, illegal back row attack. Mahimo siyang illegal if ikaw nga back row player, wala ka ni ambak pag hit nimo sa ball, pero back row player ka. Or, niambak ka, and then ni-land ka sa mismong 3 meter or 10 foot line. So, that is the time it becomes illegal. So, what is the hand signal for illegal back row attack? So, the official would raise their forearm, only keeping the upper arm horizontal at shoulder level. So, arm horizontal at shoulder level. So, mura kag magpanatang makabayan. And then, from this position, the official would rotate their arm at the elbow, making a downward waving motion. So, mana. So, the referee would whistle and then do this motion, indicating that an illegal back row attack happened. So, kay illegal man siya, meaning it is a violation or a fault, and the other team would gain a point. So, ma-stop ang play and then makascore ang imuhang kontra. Here is a comparison para dili ta maglibog. When we say legal back row attack, arm is naa sa forward. Naka-forward imong arm, mo swipe ka pa sideward. Mahitabo ni siya if you're a back player and then niambak ka behind sa 3 meter or 10 foot line. So, pwede pa siya. Dili mahunong ang duwa and padayon gihapon ang rally between two teams. And then, illegal back row attack is indicated by this hand signal. So, it becomes illegal if ni-attack ka behind sa 3 meter or 10 foot line nga wala ka ni-ambak, or if ni-ambak ka, ni-land ka sa mismong linya. So, that is illegal. Now, let's proceed with the next hand signal, which is illegal blocking or screening. Now, the referee would indicate that an illegal screen or blocking has occurred by raising both hands upward to head height, forming and showing open palms towards the court. So, your hands are level sa imong head. So, dili kay siya taas, anira, ana. And your palm is facing atubang sa court. So, a referee would whistle and do this. Atubang sa court. Indicating that illegal block or screening had happened. So, kanusaan man ni siya gamiton nga hand signal. So, screening or blocking the line of sight is actually illegal in volleyball. So, dili nimo dapat tabunan ang line of sight sa mga player. Players are allowed to group together and raise their arms as long as the receiving team has a clear line of sight to the server and or service flight path. So, if makatanaw mo mga volleyball nga mga duwa sa TV baron or sa YouTube, kasagaran daghan jud kanang block nga mahitabo, especially if gikan sa spike, at least mga 3 players ang mo-block sa spike, okay na siya. So, kanusa man siya mahimong illegal? Let's say, for example, sa inyuhang side of the court, deserve ang inyuhang player. And then, inyuha barong tabunan ang line of sight sa inyong kontra para dili nila makitaan asa padong ang bola sa mo serve. So, inyuhang alihan. So, dili na siya pwede. Dapat makita sa mga mo receive ang server o asa niya padong ang bola. Asa niya i-serve ang bola. Dapat makita na nila. So, dili mo pwede mag-block, ana. Now, let's proceed with the next hand signal, which is number 10, ball touch. An official would indicate that the ball had been touched and gone out by placing one hand up and out in front of them. With their other hand, they would brush their fingers upward. So, sa usa nimo ka arm, you would do this. While the palm is facing you, with your other arm, you will brush your tip fingers upward. So like this. This motion. That motion is ball touch. So when a ball is hit by the attacking side, it is quite common for the blockers or defenders to get a touch on the ball. It is important for officials to notice this, as if the ball was to land out after a touch from the blockers or defenders, the attacking team would be awarded the point. So, unsa may bot pasabot ani? Meaning, if ang kontra mo spike, and then giblockan ninyo, and dili kayo siya makita kay paspas kaayo ang volleyball nga duwa, especially when there's a rally between two teams. So, dapat abtik jud ang mata sa mga referee if tan-awon nila if pag-block sa mga defenders or mga blockers, natapsingan ba ang ilahang fingers sa bola? Kay, if natapsingan gani, and then ang bola, nigawas siya out sa court, and then wala na naka-receive, or natagak na jud siya sa saw, ang point is sa ni-spike nga team. So, ang naka-lose og point kay ang last touch. Dapat abtik og mata ang mga referee ani, which is also the reason why the referee is naadjud sila sa net. Dili sa net mismo, but sa kilid sa net. Now, let's proceed with the next hand signal, which is number 11, 4 hits. Now, from the name itself, 4 hits. So, an official would hold up 4 fingers on one hand. So, like this. So this is 4 hits. Now, each team is allowed 3 hits or contacts from when the ball crosses the net to the point in which it must be returned back over the net. So, if you have been playing volleyball with your friends or duwa-duwa lang, may usay magsabot mo nga, okay, 3 touch, meaning, tulura ka, igo ninyo sa bola, dapat mapasa na sa pikas kontra. But in actual volleyball, like in official volleyball game, 3 hits ra jud na siya, or 3 contacts, dapat mapasa na ninyo ang bola sa kontra. Dapat mo cross na siya sa net. Only exception to this rule is blocking. So, kanus aman siya mahita mo kani nga exception. So, let's say for example, ang kontra ninyo ni spike, and then inyuhang giblockan. So, ni touch ang bola sa inyo ha, kay giblockan man ninyo. So, technically, that is 1 touch. And then, pag-block, ni bounce ang bola sa inyong side of the court, na ay ni-receive, na kauban nimo. So, duha na to ka-touch. And then, na ay ni-set, tulo ka-touch, and then, ni-spike, padungpi ka sa kontra, upat na. So, technically, kaupat na ninyo na touch ang bola kamo nga team. But, that is still okay because this is the exception. Dili siya 4 hits. Nga naman, ang usa ani is block, and blocking is not a hit, it is a defense. So, technically, you have 3 hits. So, okay gihapon. The play is still going on between 2 teams. So, padayon gihapon, the block does not count as a touch towards the team. It also does not count as a touch for the individual player. So this means a player can block the ball and then play it a second time without committing a fault. So mao ni siya nga exception. So gikan sa block, okay pa to siya, dili pa to siya counted as a hit. Usa pa to siya ma-count if naanay maka-receive. And then mo set, and then mo spike, padong pika sa kontra. So, it is still okay. But, if wala ninyo siya napasa sa pikas nga side of the court or sa inyong kontra, tas nilapas na mo og 3 hits, like, tulo jud, like, ni-receive ang inyong kauban, naana say ni-receive, tas ni-set, tas ni-spike, kaupat na, dili na siya pwede. That is a violation, and the referee would whistle and then do this hand signal. Meaning, naka 4 hits na mo. Dapat 3 hits ra jud. So that would be all for my part. Thank you very much. This has been April Jinn, Hilo Tulabing.
So thank you, Miss. Hi everyone. I'm Charlene Mae Verano, and I will continue the reporting of hand signals. Double hit. So these hand signals, the referee will indicate that a double touch has occurred by simply showing 2 up on one hand, just like a hippie peace sign, ingani. So a double hit occurs when a player illegally contacts the ball twice in the successions, or the ball rebounds from one part of the body to another on a single attempt to play the ball. So number 13, ball lands in bounds. So we extend one arm with an open hand palm forward toward the floor area between the attack line and the net on the offending team sides. So it means that when the ball lands in a point is awarded to the team who was able to ground the ball on the position side between the lines. So it means, class, na if ang ball na kanang if ang ball pagtera sa team kay nasud siya sa court, it means na ang katong hula ang points ato kay katong sa nagtira. So obviously, ang officials needs a way of indicating whether the ball landed in or out of the court, especially if ang ball gani kay na-land siya kanang within the line. So ang referee or the officials need to point kung kinsa man ang maka-kuan sa score. So ang officials kay need siya mo ni ang hand signals. Mag-point ang officials kung asa ang nakakuan sa point. Number 14, hand signals, the out of bounds or the antenna violation. So raise both hands head high, fingers together, palms toward face, elbows bent. So in this hand signals, if the ball lands out of bounds or touches the area of the opposing team, will be awarded a point. So just to clarify, out of bounds encapsulates a few different things. So the ball is considered out of bounds if it lands outside the court lines. So contacts the net outside the antenna, the supporting or guide groups of the net, or the post and referee stand. So if the ball lands out of bounds or contacts the area, the official will show this by bending both forearms upward so the fingers are pointing towards the sky with their arms out in front of them. So let me show you class in this. When ani ang referee, so next hand signals is begin to serve. So extend arm towards server at shoulder height with hand perpendicular to the floor. Then whistle to serve and move the extended hand and arm in a sweeping motions on the opposite shoulder. So kani class, kay it is important that every player in the court understand when the serve is about to come. So if mag-serve gani ang server, kay mag-wait jud siya sa signal sa referee or the whistle, no, na kanang signal sa referee na mag-whistle siya to begin the serve. Okay? So it is really important na if mag-serve gani ka, mag-wait jud ka sa signal sa officials. So kung ano na sa referee kay mag-whistle siya, then ayang hand signals kay ang ani, then so begin to serve. Okay. So next is the authorizations to enter. So extend the arm, palm forward now on the substitution side, and make a forward motion, waist high toward the respective court. So after timeout class, or even before a new sets are about to start, the teams must line up along the sideline referee where the referee stand is located. So once the officials and both teams are ready to start the play, no, the referee will blow the whistle and wave their hands into towards the center of the court. So inani ang hand signals sa authorizations to center class. Ana, then mag-wave ang kuan. So it's about to start the game. Yan ang officials ang hand signals.
Thank you, Miss Charlene Verano. So, good morning, everyone. I'm Resty, Quintero, and we will continue discussing about another 5 more hand signals in volleyball. So, let's start. Now, many of these hand signals show that fault has occurred, which players is often more than enough for them to determine who has won the point. However, in times in which the decision can go either way, or in fact, just to make decisions clear to all spectators, the official is able to show which side has been awarded the point. So, this hand signal is called the point awarded. It indicates the point by extending the arm in the direction of the team that will serve next, the palm perpendicular to the floor. So that's for the point awarded, as you can see in the illustration. That's how you will do the hands. The next hand signal that we are going to discuss is called replay, or also known as let. This is certainly a signal that I feel is used a lot more than at lower level volleyball. So a replay or let is shown for different reasons in volleyball, where multiple games are being played at the time. Occasionally, balls or even players may enter a different court. This not only causes a health and safety risk to the players on the court, but can also lead to obstruction or hindrance. In these situations, the fairest and safest option is to halt play and replay the point. So the referee would show a let or replay of the point with fisted hands, thumbs up, and held shoulders high front of body. So as you can see in this illustration, that's how a referee or an official would show the hand signal for let or replay. Now, let's talk about the hand signal for substitution. Much like many other sports, volleyball uses substitution. Substitutions are used for many reasons, whether it be to replace an injured player, change up the lineup, or simply just to swap in a service specialist to try and get a few aces. If a team wants to sub in a player, they must follow a simple process. The player who is subbed in will stand inside of the court by the side of the referee and hold up a paddle with the number of the player they are replacing. So the referee will show that a substitution is taking place by placing their arms horizontally one over the other. They will then rotate their arms in a spin cycle motion to signify that a swap or rotation in the lineup has occurred. As you can see in the illustration, that's how you will do the hand signal for substitution. Now we have the illegal substitutions. So there are actually quite a few rules regarding substitution. Aside from the points I raised above about the process in which a substitution must be carried out, there are also a few extras that bear mentioning. So, for example, if a player is substituted, if the coach wishes to substitute the previously swapped player back into the game, they can only do that if they sub them back in place of the player who previously replaced them. So, for example, if you want to substitute in a player to reserve in place of a middle, if you want the middle player to return to court when it is time for them to go front court, you would have to substitute out the player who first replaced them. If the correct process is not followed, the player does not wait for the referee to confirm the substitution of a player replaces the wrong person. An illegal substitution call would be shown. So an official would show this by placing one arm up vertically above their head, then rotating it around, just like what you see in the illustration. Lastly, for my part, we have the hand signal for timeout. In volleyball, teams are allocated a certain number of timeouts per set. So these timeouts can be used for a multitude of reasons, whether it's discussing tactics with your team, give a motivational speech, or simply just to break out the play. If a player or team requests a timeout, the official will signify this by creating a T using their hands. This T will be displayed at head level to ensure all players can visibly see it. After the T is displayed, the official will point out to the side which has called the timeout, or it can be noted with the score sheet. So place the palm over the other fingers held vertically, forming a T. Then indicate the requesting team for the timeout. For my part, so Ms. Dian will continue the discussion for the hand signals in volleyball.
Thank you, Ms. Quintero. And now, I am Dian Ramos, and I am going to discuss the other hand signals used in volleyball. So, for the second on our list, we have the official timeout, wherein we're going to place the palm of one hand horizontally over the hand on the side requesting the timeout, forming a T. So, we've learned ganihan, diba, kung unsa ang pag hand signal sa timeout. So, muna siya. And in the official timeout, masaribuhaton. Then after doing this hand signal, then we're going to tap at the top of our shoulders once with both hands. So in official timeout, ang buhaton is kanisha and then tap once. So that is the official timeout. So in this hand signal, this is initiated by the officials and neither of the teams that are playing volleyball. So next hand signal is the unnecessary delay, wherein an official would show an unnecessary delay call by bringing the hands to the top of the waist, almost as if the official was going to rest their hands on their waist. So in unnecessary delay, ang buhaton sa official ani is kani siya. Wala siya naghinawak. Kuni siya ang hand signal for the unnecessary delay. So next hand signal is the end of game. From its name pa lang, hibaon na to siya kung para asa siya nga hand signal. So this signal is used to indicate the end of the game. The end of the game is indicated by the first referee taking both arms and crossing them across the chest to form an X shape with the arms. So mani siya ang hand signal for the end of game. So mani siya. So the next hand signal is the change of court sides. So after the referee has signaled the end of the set, they will place one arm in front of them and the other arm behind them. So this would indicate that one team must rotate round to the other side of the court in front of the referee while the other team rotates behind the referee. So this hand signal goes like this. Mani siya, one arm in front of the referee and the other one is sa luyo. So this indicates nga mag-change na og court sides ang duha ka team. Last but not the least is the set point or the honorable mention. So when a team is on set point, an official will clench a fist on the side of the team who has set point and hold it directly up in the air. So, for example, the team on the right side of the court has set a point. So, ang buhaton na ni is you're going to clench your fist and then hold it up directly in the air. So, kung sa left side naman, you'll do the same. So, this indicates to all players, officials, and spectators that a team has set point. So, muna siya ang mga hand signals. So, I hope that you learned something in our discussion. I hope you've learned what is a hand signal, its importance, and the different hand signals used in volleyball. So, thank you everyone, and God bless.